This was one of the worst fuck-ups of my entire life. It made me too comfortable. I had low confidence around women. I almost quit. I always wondered why everybody else had the results, why everybody else had the transformation before me. Did you not? I couldn't fucking go to sleep. He was the most unhealthiest person I've ever saw. His fat was sticking out of his shirt. If you want to start your self-improvement journey, the first thing that you need to do is, what is up, YouTube? We are back with another video. For those of you who don't know, I used to be 120 pounds. I used to be depressed, insecure, and I had went through some of the worst times in my life being this skinny. I wasn't proud of the person who I saw in the mirror. I wasn't proud of myself just in general, having those twig arms, not having the confidence to even go into the gym. I never had much adversity in my life during this period of time. When I was skinny, 120 pounds, I had no adversity. I went through absolutely no fucking struggle. I was living my life just on autopilot. Adversity and pain is actually one of the reasons why the gym will make me and you successful. Right? As long as you're willing to show up to the gym, because I know I am. I wasn't going to the gym when I had no adversity in my life. It was arguably one of the worst periods of my fucking life. It was one of the worst times in my life. I would use video games as a big distractor. I would stay home all day and play the video games all day. Call of Duty, NBA 2K, especially NBA 2K. I used to sit in my room and play this all day long with my cousins from the morning to the nighttime till after the nighttime, right? I would say my sleep schedule, I'd only get about 3 hours of sleep each and every single day because I was so addicted to the games. Life was on autopilot. I wasn't taking any control, any action in my fucking life, and it was one of the most depressing parts of my life. You know, I relied on video games to make me feel fulfilled, to make me feel like I was progressing in life, right? Because I was progressing in the game. I was getting better in the game, but it wasn't progressing me in life. And I had to find a way to progress somewhere in any area of my life. So I used the video games as a distraction. And this was one of the worst fuck-ups of my entire life. It made me too comfortable. Even when I started getting into the gym and going to the gym, there would be times where I'd still play video games all day, and I would think to myself that I could skip a day in the gym, that I didn't have to go that day because I could just go tomorrow. And that's how comfortable I was. It wasn't a great moment of my life because, you know, I wasn't improving as a man in any aspect of life, any fucking aspect. I had low confidence around women because all I did was play video games. I wasn't in the shape that I wanted to be in. I was eating just shitty fucking foods all day long. There would be times where I'd prepare like 20 chicken nuggets in the air fryer, processed chicken nuggets, to play 2K at 1 a.m. at nighttime. And repeat this process. I'd play video games and I'd go beat my meat. And then I'd just repeat, rinse and repeat. And my life was going to absolute fucking shit. Gym, it honestly saved my life. It changed my life. Because you have to understand, every single man, no matter who you are, no matter if you're black, purple, white, green, blue, we all have energy that we need to put into a purpose, right? We have testosterone in our fucking balls. We have energy that we need to direct towards something. Some people put it towards video games like I used to, but some people put it towards the gym. But when I started putting that energy towards the gym, it was the best decision of my fucking life. It was truly the best decision of my life. Looking for that sense of satisfaction, that sense of improvement. You know, I try to find it in video games, right? I try to find it in scrolling, but I never found it in that. You know, it would always leave me empty inside. It would always leave me depressed. Right? I always regretted doing it. I wanted to find something that I can self-improve in, that I can just be happy with, be content in. And it was the fucking gym. When I started going to the gym and I started seeing the results, and I started staying consistent, going through adversity and feeling good after the sessions, and finally finding something that I won't regret, I'm telling you, the confidence boost that it gave me, the consistency when I started showing up to the gym, it felt fucking amazing. And one of the reasons why, you know, I craved this was because I played football. And I used to always, always stress about going to the summer workouts. Because one of our coaches, he's big on military training. So we did a lot of drop sets, a lot of supersets. We did a lot of holding weight in the air, holding planks. We did a lot of fucking moving around, right? It was a typical summer workout football practice, but it was extreme. I always dreaded it. During the moment when I went through that pain, that adversity with my brothers, with the football team, right? It gave me a sense of masculinity. I was able to put my energy into something, into self-improvement. And then when that time came and then we finished the workout, I'm telling you, it was the best feeling ever. I've never felt so fucking fulfilled in my entire life when we finished that workout. The toughest times of your fucking life, they're the most adversity that you go through. Those are the times where you're going to see the most growth. Those are the times you're going to look back on and be like, damn, I really pushed through this shit. This shit, it was fucking worth it. I don't regret any of the pain and adversity that I went through. And then when I stopped playing football, I also had to direct some of this energy towards something else because I went to the gym and I was also playing football, but I stopped playing football. So I'm just going to the gym at this period. So I needed something to put my energy into. So then I found out what deep work was, and I started reading books, right? I've started putting my energy into another form of self-improvement. Deep work is focusing on 1 to 2 tasks, right? For a long period of time, 2 to 3 hours, right? Out of your day, undisturbed, right? This is going to get you to success, right? A vehicle towards success. This can be e-commerce. This could be trading, right? This can be an online coaching business that people will pay you for, right? It's just working on something for 2 to 3 hours out of your day. High leverage tasks. Right? The mistake that I made was I was watching YouTube videos, reading fucking books, thinking that was the high leverage task, right? If you want to get to 8 to 10% body fat, your 2 high leverage tasks may be strength training and tracking your calories, or strength training, getting the cardio in. That is going to be your 2 high leverage tasks, right? You're doing e-commerce. Your 2 high leverage tasks would be doing product research and creating videos, right? Those would be your 2 high leverage tasks that you need to focus on for 2 to 3 hours out of your day to get the results. That's what deep work is. Started reading. Reading is a great, way to direct your energy into self-improvement. I can't tell you how much knowledge I've gained from reading. Right? I think about 85% of millionaires read 1 to 2 books per month. Right? It's no coincidence. This reading shit, it will make you smarter. It will, contribute towards your success. It's a great way to give myself adversity through self-improvement. There was so many times I didn't want to read. I didn't want to do deep work. I didn't want to hit the gym. But when I pushed past and I went through that adversity, those were the moments that I've grown the most. The moments that I didn't want to go. You're going to have that motivation to go sometimes. As everything's going to be going right sometimes. But those are not the days where God judges you. The God judges you on the days that you don't want to show up, but you still show up anyway. And those are the days where you're going to grow in your mind the most. Because you have to understand the reason why UFC fighters, Andrew Tate, David Goggins, Iman Ghazi, all these people are so successful is because they went through the most adversity in their life, right? In their past. They've grown from their mistakes. They've grown from the adversity that they went through. They've grown through the pain that they went through. Brother, the average successful entrepreneur has 3 to 5 failed businesses behind them. Wealthy entrepreneurs, their stress levels are 2 times more of the average worker, right? It's because they're constantly going through pain, constantly going through adversity, right? It's no coincidence that their stress levels is higher, that they failed more times. That's why they're successful. And that's why the gym is such a good foundation of success, because you're putting yourself through that pain, that adversity on purpose to grow your body, to grow your physique. And then you can take that into any aspect, any area of life. The next reason why the gym is going to make me and you successful is because it teaches you delayed gratification. It taught me delayed gratification. I didn't have the results for a long time. I've been training for a little while now, and I never really got as big as I am right now. And it made me insecure about myself. I was tired of fucking showing up to the gym and not seeing the results. There were so many times where I almost quit altogether. I almost stopped showing up to the gym and stopped giving it my all because I didn't have the results. But I am so fucking happy I kept showing up each day, day after fucking day after day after day. I was insecure though. I dealt with a lot of insecurities. You know, on this cruise, I wore sweatpants each and every single day. And it was like 90 damn degrees outside. And this guy asked me, why the fuck are you in sweatpants? Everybody else was in shorts, but I was in a tank top and sweatpants. And he got the assumption that I had small legs. And he asked me, you must have small legs. And then I told him, I just have bad genetics, but I squat 500. Bro, I was fucking lying. I don't squat no damn 500. And I blamed my insecurities on my genetics, even though I just didn't put in enough hard work over a long enough time. I didn't know that I had to delay my gratification in order for the results to come. I thought I was always going to be like that, so I made a stupid excuse to cover up my insecurity. I especially got this insecurity when I was on social media, when I was on TikTok, Instagram, and I was scrolling through my feed, and I saw all these ripped and shredded dudes all over my For You page. And it was definitely a moment where I felt the most insecure I felt in my entire life. You know, I felt down on myself. I always wondered why everybody else had the results, why everybody else had the transformation before me. Now I've been training for a longer period of time than them. You know, I thought my training plan was wrong, my training split, my training program was wrong. I didn't know what the fuck was wrong. You know, and it almost made me quit the gym altogether. I'm telling you now, somebody with the results, somebody with the physique, bro, the people on social media are like 0.1% of the population. Like, if you go out, like, most men aren't in shape. When you get into shape, you condition, you strength train, you track your calories, you get your body right, you will set yourself apart from most men. And that's the truth of the story, because most men aren't in shape, right? The people on social media that you see with these ripped, shredded physiques, they're about 0.1% of the fucking population. Take it from me. I see so many fucking obese people. There was this one time I was walking to Quick Check, and this guy, he had fat sticking out of his stomach. Like, he was the biggest person I've ever seen. Like, he was someone you would see on that I forgot what the show is called, like 300-Pound Life or something like that along the lines. It was like a show for fat people, and he was the most unhealthiest person I've ever saw. His fat was sticking out of his shirt, and you know, that lit a fire in me. It lit a fire in me to make a change in this world, because there is still people that need my help. There is still people that need to transform. And I was once that skinny kid with a bunch of insecurities, wishing to be in the best possible shape of their entire life. You know, I showed up, I didn't have the fucking results for a long period of time. That is the beauty of it. That's the beauty of delaying your gratification. The beauty of consistency, which the gym teaches you so well. Because you're not going to get fucking jacked in a week of going to the gym. Even if you fucking hop on steroids, you still need to show up to the gym to get the results, right? You're not going to be fucking Ronnie Coleman in the next 2 days just because you bought that little creatine. Started putting in more inputs over time. I started learning more about the gym. The wrestling season was over. I dirty bulked. I wasn't experienced in this fitness stuff, but I dirty bulked. I shouldn't have done it, but it was one of the worst periods of my life. I lost all my abs. I was out of breath, out of shape, but I wanted the fucking results. I was taking mass gainer in my bed. I kid you not, I couldn't fucking go to sleep because my stomach was so full. It felt like I had to throw up because of all the mass gainer I was taking. But I took it for about 2 months, and then I leaned back down before summer vacation, and then I stayed at my maintenance calories, and then I started learning more about the gym. And then that's when I started progressing the most, was when I started putting in more inputs. I didn't make the extra effort to go research, you know, different workouts, different splits, you know, go research more about tracking my calories, find my own gym split, find my own workouts that work for me. I didn't put enough effort into that, and that's why I wasn't seeing the results for so long. Also was because I wasn't consistent enough for a long period of time for the results to come. You just have to understand, man, the work that you put in is going to be the work that you get out. My split, Monday I have chest, Tuesday I have legs, Wednesday I have arms, Thursday I have back, shoulders would be Friday, and then Saturday would be legs again. All right, I made this split myself. I figured out that, okay, I react the best when I separate the muscle groups into each and every single day, you know, because when I did back and biceps, stuff like that, I ended up prioritizing back instead of biceps, and then the other way around. So I just separated up into it each and every single day. And then I was like, I want to start off the week strong. So I want to bench press in the start of the week. I want to work some chest, right? So it gets me going throughout the week. And then I want to get legs over with. So I do it the next day. And then I want to have a good session after legs, so I hit arms. The more inputs that you put in, the more that you will get out. right? I started learning about tracking my calories. Okay, I need to go to a macro calculator, put in my information, go to MyFitnessPal, right? Scan my meals, track all my calories, right? Figure out my calorie maintenances and figure out if I need to lean bulk, cut, stay in my maintenance, and figure this shit out, right? It's a learning process, it's a learning curve, but the more that you put in, the more that you will get out. This is exactly why this shit will make me successful, because I'm bringing this mindset into my business, into my YouTube channel. I may not have all the subscribers right now on YouTube, but just know I am going to be as consistent as can be. Will outlast everybody else with my consistency, through pure perseverance, right? I'm going to keep pushing, keep going, because that is something the gym has taught me. The gym has taught me to delay my gratification, to keep going even though you don't have the results. Come in like a fucking snap of a finger. You won't even realize it, right? This physique came so fast, and I remember all the days when I was skinny, scared to take off my shirt, scared to wear oversized shirts on my birthday, right? I remember all those fucking times. But I wouldn't have been able to look back at those times and be proud of who I became if I didn't stay consistent, if I didn't stay disciplined. Brother, the average millionaire spends 10 plus years building wealth before they ever look rich, right? I've spent countless years laying the foundation of the gym, going there and showing up, regardless if I was insecure, regardless if I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, to build this foundation. So I know what the fuck I'm doing now. So I can coach others to transform. So I can transform my own physique. I had to lay the foundation. I had to show up for a couple years to get this result. Right? And that's why the gym is going to make me successful. That's why the gym is going to make you successful. The best foundation of success is the gym. If you want to start your self-improvement journey, the first thing that you need to do is go to the fucking gym. It's going to teach you so many lessons that you need to know about life. It's fucking unreal. But if you're a guy, you want to have a similar transformation as me, you want to work on your mindset, right? You want to get more results in the fucking gym way quicker than I did, feel free to book a one-on-one call at my link in my YouTube description. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.